of every man can be. Oh, I see the light come
I'm
shining
trying to get Benita to log in.
from the west and
I don't see her nor Kubu.
well, I tell you, can he
Benita, Benita.
I shall be.
Yes, we are live. Greetings in that divine name of His Imperial Majesty Emperor Haile Selassie the First. Glory and honor in the name of His chosen Queen, Empress Waziri Menen. My name is Kwasi Banso, aka the Chasmatch Kwasi, aka Ras Kwasi, aka the Reading Ras, aka the Pan African Happy Man. I'm a creative industry attorney. I'm an author. I'm an artist. I'm an actionist. And right now, I am the host of Lion Talk Live. And we have a special simulcast. I'm bringing in our guest for the day.
Good morning.
Royal greetings.
Royal greetings to the eye. Greetings, greetings, everyone. Along with me, of course, is Brother Shanaka sitting here to my left. Let me say
Yes,
good morning.
And blessed love, King Kwasi.
yes.
Go on.
Kwasi, blessings to the Ira Shanaka.
Irie
Rastafari.
man. Irie.
Yes, I. So I just got an update from the others that were due to join us. They're working on the login right now, getting that
No
secured. So
problem,
they
no
should be joining
problem.
us shortly.
Um,
Good morning again. Just want to introduce yourself, if we can, to my listening audience here on the radio.
Definitely, definitely. My name. Well. First of all, I'm an honorary citizen of Saint Croix and Saint Thomas. I was given that title by my Rastafari family. So I want to
Uh,
greet your listening audience in that divine name of His Imperial Majesty Emperor Haile Selassie the First, and say greetings and honor in the name of His chosen Queen Empress Waziri Menen. I am Kwasi Bantu, aka the Chasmatch Kwasi, aka Ras Kwasi, aka the Reading Ras, aka the Pan African Happy Man. I'm a creative industry attorney. I'm an author. I'm an artist, and I'm an actionist. And I'm
mm,
also the host of the Lion Talk live show, which we are simulcasting with 96.1 Kiss FM and the Kook Up. And I mean,
Ashe.
historic.
Eh, Ashe. That it is. It's historic for us as well. You know, we've never done a simulcast on the YouTube podcast or anything of that nature. So we welcome you to our platform, 96.1 Kiss FM, WWKS, coming straight out of Shalimar, St. Thomas, U.S. Virgin Islands. It's your girl, Sister B, and my brother Shanaka, alongside my brother Shanaka, coming at you from 10 a.m. until 2 each and every Monday through Friday. You can find us on the go at vicwebradio.com. That's www.vicwebradio.com. I'm excited to have this opportunity to join you, Brother Kwazi, as we wait for the other We Grow Food members to join in.
Yes.
I'm excited because when we gathered in Ghana this past
Yes.
October, who would
Yes.
have known that this would be where we are today? You see what I'm saying? And so much more to come. So I give thanks for the brother. I give thanks for the works that I've seen you put out. And I must say, Brother Shanaka had been familiar with your program before I was.
Okay.
Um, yeah, but I don't mind coming late. I catch up. I catch up.
It's a great honor to know that the great Shanaka was, know about I. So I'm humbled by that revelation, and
Ashe.
just learning about the I works, and the I them consistent presence on the radio. I know the power of media, and positive
Mm.
media. So what the I them are doing is critical. Holding a post there in St. Croix, and the Virgin Island and St.
St.
Thomas.
Thomas.
St.
St.
Thomas,
Thomas.
Yes.
Yeah, we are located on St. Thomas. Although we grow food, the organization which I'm proud to be a part of does represent the entire territory,
Okay.
represent and serve the entire territory.
And it's vitally interesting in the fact that the Lion Talk and you, Quasi, is consistently increasing your footprint
Hmm.
globally.
Yes,
Hmm.
I.
In because I've seen, looking at YouTube, and I've seen that you cover not only the culture here in Jamaica, out of the Caribbean, but also in Africa and around the world. And
Yes,
so
I.
I just want to say,
Diaspora.
lots of strength, for that.
Yes, I.
Definitely. That is part of the mission of the Lion Voice Network is to be that bridge, and to show the power of Rastafari unapologetically. Just to, but to show the Pan African, roots of Rastafari, really making sure that Rastafari stays connected to its Pan African root, and knowing that that is a universal call, because if Rastafari is rising and prosperous, we know the whole world is going to be benefiting from that. So we
Ashe.
want to show people the real chart of Rastafari, but we want to also make Rastafari know for themselves how great we are. Because sometimes we forget and we get caught in the
Mm.
petty difference and what we're not doing, and we forget all of the great works that are happening around the world, and that are happening. So we destroy the narrative that Rastafari brethren just smoke herb and listen reggae music and chase woman.
Mm.
We crash them stereotype there.
Ashe, Ashe, Ashe. I appreciate that because many people are confused with what Rastafari truly represents. Greetings.
The great
Greeting,
Ras
greeting.
Kubu.
Greeting, man. Bless up.
Blessing. Is one of my Ghana brethren that one of
Mm,
And
every
greetings,
morning.
Kubo.
Yeah, when we
Greetings.
rise, we know Ras Kubu, I go stretch and make sure it's
mm.
name good the Irie.
A lot of love growing that time in Ghana, my lion.
Yes,
Lot of
I.
love,
Lot of love, lot of
all
love.
the way. Shanaka, Barbara, bless up.
Yes, sir. Greetings,
Bless up,
King. How are
Kubo.
you?
Give thanks, my brethren.
Giving thanks.
So, as we wait for one more to join, I was just sharing with the lion the joy that I have had following lately and really getting familiar with the works. Um, Today we wanted to do this simultaneously. We wanted to share our conversation with the listener audience of 96.1, as well as those of the YouTube family for the Lions Voice Network. So I'll let you take it from here, Brother Quasi.
Okay, good time. I see Sister Bonita. She needs to turn on her camera. I don't know if someone can call her and just tell her to turn on her camera, but I'm seeing her in the studio.
I'm
But
sure
yes,
she's hearing you.
yes, Sister Bonita. So if you can turn on your camera, please, and thank you. But we have a tradition here on the Lion Talk. They're giving I the opportunity. I want to big up all of the VI massive St. Thomas. I have not yet been to Rock City, but I will be there. Don't worry
Hmm.
yourself. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
But we know we have a lot of Lion Pride in the VI. So big up every Lion Pride. I wanted to start by learning some more about the item, Sister B and Shanaka and Ras Kubu. So if the I could just introduce yourself to our global audience, step into the Lion Talk time machine, take us to your origin story, because I look at all of the items as our superhero, because the item are on the mission of the Most High, doing the Most High work in this world that has gone astray. So please, we start with the I, Sister B. Where's the I? No?
No, I'd rather we start with Ras Kubu. That's our president, and he's actually been a part of the family even longer than I, so
Oh,
he could take you back further.
all right. Ras Kubo, we start with the I. Please give us the I origin story, please.
All right, give thanks. Uh, like you say, born and raised here in St. Thomas, USVA. Uh, grew up and went to school here and left. Went for a while and spent some time in the Navy and then came home. When I came home I guess about in 1981, 82 is when I really started to try the Rastafari. Uh, so within that time, I was
It look like we have a little bit of Wi-Fi tension.
Yeah.
When you're making history, sometime, we have a character on my show called Wi-Fi the Guy.
Mm-hmm.
And Wi-Fi the Guy, he make an appearance sometime when the reasoning get too irie. He want hug some spotlight, and
Yes,
and
yes.
coming. So that is Wi-Fi the Guy for the VI massive. So we'll continue to rush Shanaka.
yes, hey.
Hold
Look
on,
at me
hold
drop
on,
out.
hold on. Yes,
Yeah,
please.
yeah.
Yes, all right. We're forward again. All right, Ras Kubu. Continue from
Okay. From where? Did
from the beginning. Start at the beginning because the eye is great. The eye is great. We have time.
all right. Greetings, one and all, each and everyone. My name is Ras Kubu. To Guana, I have a new name now. I was born again. Went through the baptism. Ras Okenen, Kwabina, Kukujuopo. I was born here in St. Thomas, West Virgin Islands, and grew here. Went to school here. I left. I did some time in the Navy, U.S. Navy. Returned to the island about 1980, 81, 82. And therein started to try the Rastafari. I was
Uh-oh.
Okay.
Definitely
Ras Kubu,
trying to interfere
yes,
with the trot.
I'm telling you. But Ras Kubu look like he's on the move. So we're gonna give him some chance to stabilize. I see
Yes.
Sista Benita coming forward. My audience is used to all of these things. So my audience, Irie. So I hope for the
Okay.
radio listening audience, you have patience with us today because we're making history. And history sometimes can be rocky, but we're gonna make it the best experience as we can. Um, I want to keep it moving, Shanaka, if you can just jump in right away and give us the eye story.
Well, I'm on journey, started, I was born in St. Kitts, SK, Sugar City, and came to the Virgin Islands probably around maybe 14, and raised for a little while, and then went into the US. When I stepped from here in the Virgin Islands, I was already Rastafari, a young Rastaman trotting out in the world. And so I was basically out there in the Pacific Northwest. And I and some other brethren hook up from Jamaica and some sisters from Grenada. We hook up Rastafari and form a Rastafari family, Akasha. So we was not hearing our music, our culture going across the airwaves. So I stepped to them and said, we need a program. We need to be able to have our culture in a broadcast. And they said, well, go ahead and write a proposal and bring it forward. So I went to write the proposal and bring it forward, and we got a show. So that's my introduction to radio. So I've been in radio. I've did shows, throughout the world, and also did some emceeing and been on tour, with groups, right? So here am I in the Virgin Islands. With every place I reside, I would always get called to radio. When I came to the Virgin Islands, I didn't apply. I would just get called, come and do this show. So I was on the show. And then Sista B came on the show.
That was 15 years ago.
That was 15 years ago. So Sista B came on the show. When Sista B came on the show, so we linked up. And she stepped and went to one radio station And so we've been on probably 4 different radio stations.
Together.
So together.
Uh-huh.
But every place she go, she makes sure she calls me.
Yeah, and I drag him along. And I drag him
Yes,
along.
yes, yes.
So yeah, so we are here now on the Cook Up, and we used to do a show starting, the Cook Up family 96.1 Kiss FM, started in April
Mm-hmm.
of 2025. And so we were one of the first program, that anchor in the morning. We started from
Okay.
6 until 10,
Mm-hmm.
And so here we are from April right now into February, from 2025 to 2026. And here we are building and strengthening, making the Cook Up resilient, because we're sending it locally as we do it globally.
Give thanks, give thanks. Does the I consider the myself a Rastafari brethren or just Pan African?
Well, first and foremost, right? First and foremost, I manage Rastafari in terms of the liberty of
Yes.
I and I, right? I and I Rastafari, right? That is first and foremost. Now, when it comes to Pan-Africanism,
Yeah.
right? I man embrace, I and I brethren and sister, I and I family, as one family coming out of Africa, living in the diaspora, a part of the 6 regions. So I and I embrace
Yes.
Africa in that sense. So Pan-Africanism, yeah, especially wherever you find that, not only just black people, but any people of color that are downtrodden and need the support. And you know what I mean? That whole connectivity, because when we look at it in the brethren, we're just one race. And so we as Rastafari,
Yes, sir.
come will uplift the human race. And so that's I and I trad, I and I works is just to uplift mankind,
Yes, yes, I give thanks. I give thanks, and I want to welcome the royal Queen Mother, Sista Benita, who
Yeah.
never give up, never
Truly,
give up. We know
truly.
that about our Queen Mother. I met her in Ghana, and her resume came in the form of her son and new daughter-in-law, and the beauty that we witness. So the fruit doesn't fall far from the tree. So we really give thanks. Welcome.
Give
Uh,
thanks.
we have We Grow Food member, Queen Mother Benita, Sister Benita to some. Welcome. We're just going through history. She has been on the Lion Talk show already. So I want to just continue to the I, Sister B, and get some of the I story.
Not sure where to start. I am born native of the U.S. Virgin Islands. Family can be traced back to slavery on my father's side. My mother is Anguillian and also can be traced back to slavery on the British side, and Irish. Born in St. Thomas, schooled in St. Thomas, joined the military right out of first semester of college, went into the military, U.S. Army. I am a veteran. I've been in radio now for a little over 15 years. Prior to meeting Brother Shanaka on one of the stations where we joined and created a really nice collaboration, I worked on a station where I did talk radio prior to meeting that family. So I've been in radio a little, I would say about 16 and a half years, maybe a little more. I really never stopped to truly count. I am an activist within the territory. I am a farmer. I actually became introduced to We Grow Food back in 2008 while I was advocating for the legalization and proper mandates to be put in place as far as protections for the cannabis. I've been a cannabis journalist for probably just about the same amount of time.
Okay.
I had the first radio program here in the territory that discussed cannabis
Okay.
outwardly. It was called Cannabis 101 and so much more. And in fact, that was prior to COVID. And when COVID struck and most people were homebound, it gave me great opportunity to truly build a listening audience and share information and exchange in how we could develop the industry of cannabis, along with all the other issues and concerns of our island life, you know. I was recently elected to the Board of Elections here in the territory, fighting for a fair and equal representation of our government. I am a believer that Rastafari is a vital part of what our leadership needs to look like. And the only way that we can do so is if we first choose to represent ourselves and ensure that there is fair representation along the way. Each voice matters. That being said, as Shanaka mentioned, we joined forces here in April on this particular radio station, 96.1 KISS FM, where we have been building the audience and changing the form, the face or the look of 96.1 to a more cultural space, a more local space. The previous owner to the station, because it is a new owner coming on as of 2025, the previous owner had a different format for this particular station. The new owner has taken the station and is working towards creating that cultural base that we need for education, our music, our resources and tools, you know, to continue to strengthen ourselves as African, as Pan-Africanists, as Rastafari, as Black, as people in general. And as I said, I came to We Grow Food family in 2008 as I was advocating for the cannabis, and I've been a part of the family since. I'm currently the chair of the Future Development Committee, and you know, enjoy working with my brothers and sisters towards reaching the goals that we set, and you know, servicing the agricultural industry and persons here in the territory.
Well, give thanks for the I works and attribution. I was blessed to meet the I in Ghana as well. And you know, I don't think people understand how ingrained Rastafari is into VI culture. You know, even myself, you know, we listen to Midnight, we hear some songs and Pressure, Bus Pipe, and you know, some artists that break through. But it wasn't until I visited St. Croix and give thanks to Tafari and the Nyabing girls for bringing I down to St. Croix for a coronation celebration that I realized how ingrained Rastafari is in the VI. And, you know, everywhere you look, you're seeing brethren and sistren with locks, you know, cultural attire. Can someone here speak to you know, how important Rastafari is in the VI for my audience? I know your audience is in the VI already and them already know this, but let me just explain to 96.1 people listening. My show, we have a lot of lion pride in Africa, in South America, all over the globe. And so, you know, my job is to really build that bridge so that we know Rastafari all over the world, what it looks like, what it feels like, what is it doing. So can someone speak to Rastafari in the VI for I, please?
Well, when it comes to Rastafari in the VI, Rastafari is foundational in the VI. It's solid, it's consistent, and it's been sustainable for a number of years, very resilient. And it is fully integrated in the VI. I want to say fully integrated into the VI, meaning that Rastafari, you could in the employment space, like in the workspace, you would find Rastafari all the way from the top of the government, come all the way down, right? Even senators, and you would find Rastafari. So in the corporate world, Rastafari is fully integrated in the VI. And in the VI, when it comes to Rastafari, there are many, many. As they say, in my father's house, there's many mansions. So you find all the mansions of Rastafari are here existing in the Virgin Islands, and they exist cohesively. So Rastafari is foundational, right? It's structural, it's cohesive, right?
It's
It's
been
cohesive
present
right
in
here
our lives.
in the Virgin Islands,
Beautiful,
as well
beautiful.
as many other parts in the Caribbean too. Because when we speak about Rastafari, when you talk about the Leeward Islands in particular, you talk about Antigua, Montserrat, Saint Kitts, Nevis, Virgin Islands, Saint Martin, Anguilla. Rastafari is very foundational in the Leeward Islands. If you go to any Leeward Island, you'll find the 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 the, um, the conglomerate of
Yes,
Rastafari,
yes,
even
yes.
culturally as well as physically, industrial, any all aspect, that you will find within the society. There is Rastafari.
One of the things that excites me about the VI, and we're gonna come to Sister Bonita for this question. One of the things is that the focus on agriculture, and one of the biggest Rastafari events on the planet. I would even say probably the biggest on the planet. Let me be bold in my assertion and make a man try test. Let's make a man try test and see what a man try say. But the biggest in the world, we're talking about the 27th annual Bordeaux Farmers Rastafari Agricultural and Cultural Vegan Food Fair. And it's the biggest because they don't the name long because you have to sit down and wait on it. You understand? Because them don't fear. So Sister Bonita, please explain. I mean, you explained on your interview with mine, which a lot of people linked me and told me how much they loved it. Explain to people about this festival, and we're gonna get into what happened this year. We want to do a review of the biggest agricultural cultural Rastafari fest on the planet.
Oh, okay. Give thanks, Quincy. I don't want to over exaggerate. It is big, but I'm not sure about the biggest on the planet. I actually have not heard of another Rastafari agriculture fair, but and there might be one, but being
Make
as
them
I
try
am, I
test.
don't
Make them
want to
test.
take the claim. I don't want to take the claim, but it is here in the VI, definitely. And I've been told, as far as within these current Caribbean islands, it is the biggest. So that Rasta has put on, it's a grassroots. We get support, of course, from our community, but it is our fair. And we make sure that the vendors here reflect Africa and Rastafari culture and what they're selling here at the fair. I'm not over the entertainment section, so I can't give you particulars of names or who was on stage because I don't remember at all. I know I enjoyed the music, um, and it's everyone that comes enjoy themselves. And I'm sure this year we definitely hit the 4,000 mark. It's not a very large space, but people come in and out. We have some of the top Ital dub masters in the Virgin Islands here at the fair. So the taste of Ital cooking is really seen here at our fair. We have few farmers, few dub masters rather, that are actually cooking on the 3 stone. So people get an opportunity to see the culture of preparing food on the 3 stone. So I'm not, I don't know what else to say. The 27th was a little different for me this year, but definitely enjoyable. It was definitely, and so as far as agriculture, we always bringing in different phases of the agriculture system, from growing, from pest management to new growing techniques.
Okay.
So we brought in composting. We had someone talking about composting, whether it's just traditional composting or liquid composting. Dr. Dries normally has pest management. And this year we built a multi-story technique that they use in Kenya. It is on our website what it looks like. It's actually a 6 tall circular structure so that you can grow crops in a urban small area and can provide enough food for your family. So the fair is, yes, having fun, but it's definitely an educational part of the component of the fair. We had the bambula dancers, we had African drumming, African dancing, African fashion show. So I don't know. It's just wonderful. You definitely have to make a point. This was 27. So that's really, that's an accomplishment. And we sang the 27th, but we had a couple of years where we had a hurricane and we didn't have a fair, but we had a little special market. And then during COVID, we didn't have the fair. We had a little special market during that same Martin Luther King weekend. And so we got 2 years before our 30th, and that's definitely going to be a grand slam.
Okay.
And we definitely going to try to make sure that you are here.
Yes,
And possibility being live, broadcasting live from the fair.
definitely. I look forward to that. And Mama Bonita, I know you're very humble and very, you know what I mean? But I'm going to take that heat, VI people. I'm an honorary Kouja, and I'm going to take that heat. This is the biggest in the planet, and I want the next fair to come and test. You can't test the VI when it comes on agricultural fair. I just met the eye them know. All right, so we want to celebrate the eye and give the eye all of the flowers, and we grow food massive because as we know, as the I know in Ghana, our topic was food sovereignty, Black food sovereignty, Rastafari food sovereignty. We're living in a time of war, rumors of war. Is looking very perilous, and we know that the food system is very vulnerable in the Caribbean because of so much reliance on importation of food. So, you know, we're laughing and we're having a good time, family, but this is serious matters that we're talking about. We have to control our food supply. So I want to bring in Ras Kubu again. We're gonna go and let me know, Sister B, Ras, and you know the item are live on air. Anytime you need to jump in and do anything, let I know. I'm long-winded, family. VI family, I'm very long-winded, so forgive I in advance.
No problem. Top of the hour. That's when we'll take. You'll see my hand go up.
All right, we're making history, family. We're making history, so we give thanks. Big up every lion pride. Ras Kubu, talk to us about yes, Ras Kubu. Talk to us about this festival in the VI. How did it start from the eye memory, and why is it so important? The Rastafari Food Festival.
It's important because we grow food was burned in the fire. We grow food was burned in the fire. When the agriculture department and the government and other private entities was determined to push farmers off the land, was when the Bordeaux farmers came together and created this organization called We Grow Food.
Hot.
From that organization is where we started to decide we needed a market. And after we got the market, we decided we needed to have a food fair to celebrate the work that was being done. So that was about 30 years ago. We started We Grow Food Inc. We just held our 27th annual food festival, and it's a celebration of sustainability. Our trip to Ghana only reinforced the notion and the irate that I and I had here, that we need to be able to sustain ourselves in times of crisis and when the ship stop. So the fair is a celebration of that. The fact that we can grow food and we can sustain ourselves if we commit to it. So
Give thanks, and I'll let the VI family know tomorrow. We're having Kesnandi, the Grammy Award winning artist, on our program at I think it's 9 p.m. VI time on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe to the Lion Voice Network. But the item need a award bigger than the Grammy, because the item work,
Yes.
you know, in terms of on earth right now, we grow food work is probably one of the most, if not the most important movement that's happening right now in Rastafari. Because you know, when I interviewed Mama Bonita, she showed I the facility that had the solar panels,
I don't know.
and just what the item have built in terms of infrastructure. I think this is a model for the entire Caribbean. Talk to us about the infrastructure that We Grow Food has there in the VI for our Rastafari family in Africa, around the world, that is going to be watching this and don't know
But
what the item have put in place. And then also give us a little bit of the history of the farmers of Bordeaux, the Rastafari farmers of Bordeaux.
well, just before we answer it, maybe Kubu would be the one to answer that. I want to add something about, paint the picture for your global family and your global reach as to, We Grow Food Incorporated and the Bordeaux's agricultural fair, right? We Grow Food Incorporated is a Rastafari community of farmers in the western end of St. Thomas. The area is known as Bordeaux, and we call it and refer to it as Bordeaux Mountain. And so we have the farmers in the mountains and in the valleys of Bordeaux, and that's what We Grow Food Incorporated. That's the farmers, and so the concept, right, of a farming village, a Rastafari farming village, that's what Bordeaux is, and it's constantly building out that concept. So you have the market, you have the fair, but also too, it is a cultural space, because and when I say cultural space, I'm talking about the creative space for the creatives, because during the fair, we have a stage where many of our artists, such as Pressure Bus by Iora, these are the launching pad for these artists who have gone global, right? So it is a cultural space, as well as it's a farming space and a farming community, and we always striving to to make agriculture and to expand agriculture and to expand the space right inside the Bordeaux. Was it?
Kubu.
Yes,
yes,
cool. I love it. I love it. Continue.
yes, and that's why it's the Bordeaux Farmers Rastafari Agricultural and Cultural Vegan Food Fair. Because when the farmers started it, the other culture bearers, the artists, the musicians, they asked, well, what about us? So they could not be left behind. We didn't have a choice. They is part of the movement. So we support all the young artists, local artists, as Brother Shanaka just said, a lot of them, whether it's Pressure or
Jaman, Nayora.
Jaman or any of the other local artists, a lot of them started right there on that Bordeaux stage, you know, and they practiced and they honed their talents to be what they are now.
Okay.
And the infrastructure, you know, we have built a solar facility.
Yes.
We are off the grid. We have a walk-in cooler, which is I think about 20 by 20 walk-in cooler for the Bordeaux farmers. We have a deep freezer, which I think is
Hold on
also
there.
20 by.
Stick up in. Because for I and I, when you talk about a walk-in freezer and storage, to me that is greater than a Bugatti or a Ferrari, you know. You're talking some big things when it come on to these things, you know. I don't want you to take it simple, Ras Kubu, because these are things that we vision for other Rastafari spaces. And
It's
the
a
items
10.
have them already. You know what I mean? But continue.
Yes, sir. And like I say, we walked in. We have a storeroom. We built our storeroom out of concrete. So we have a storeroom that holds most of our equipment. We also built a concrete structure, which is our headquarters and youth center, you know, all sorts of concrete. All the whole while, we got Babylon and the system balling for us to stop bill.
Huh.
They're telling us to stop bill, but we know and we know that is sustainability and I speak of.
Yes, yes.
And if we build it,
Why would they want the item to stop building these positive things? What is the fullness? What is their argument?
we need permits, we need this, we need this.
Okay,
But the facilities are done and they need to go back up. A lot of them was destroyed during the hurricanes.
okay.
And they just talking about wait. And I really deal with this wait in business, you know. So we did what we had to do to build our structure and to build it to the level that we felt was necessary for sustainability and to go on into the future for the youth and
Yes,
for
I.
everybody else.
Yes, I. And you know, some negotiation hopefully can happen so that those bureaucracies can be addressed. You know what I mean? But we give thanks for
Well,
the doing of the VI family. You know.
and that's where I tend to, encourage more participation in selecting leadership or representing at leadership levels, where those things would never be a discussion or a fight if we had those who were supportive at a different level of what agriculture should look like in our territory, and would be then putting forward the funds or the resources needed to ensure that we build that sustainable platform, that sustainable infrastructure. So we grow food, see in the void, step in the gap, and did what it took with all the fight.
Give thanks, and remember, food. We can't resist without food. You know, we can't do anything without food, and this is what all of the ideology, all of the vision, nothing matters if you cannot feed yourself. So this is why this conversation is so crucial. In terms of right now, I'm saying this is the most important conversation that we can have as Rastafari people. I want us to return to Sista Benita,
Yes.
and talk to us about the preparation for this year. You said it was different for the eye than other years. Talk to us about the preparation and how were the past years and why was this year different?
Not that the preparation was different. Um, it seemed as if we didn't have as many hands on board as we have had in the past.
Okay.
So that did make it a little more stringent. But what was different this year was our funding source. We have had funding from some organizations that had received funds for our community, for the Black community, to strengthen farmers. And funds were snatched up by our government this year. So it made things a little more difficult, but not deterring us from going forward. So that was something definitely different. So we ended up, because things happened at the last minute. You
Oh,
know, I call it tricky Dicky,
yeah.
and they at the last minute they do not want to see the success move forward.
Okay.
So that was the main difference as far as being able to get things moving forward in a cohesive manner. Scrambling at the last minute instead of energy, staying focused on the fair. It was focused on the not the physical, but in ensuring that we had the funds. We had Ujima Seeds had been invited to come down, and they came. They did an excellent presentation
Okay.
on
Who
seed.
are you? Who use them on seeds? Can you explain for our audience who that is?
So Ujima Seed is a found is a company, a seed company. Besides just being a seed company, they're also a cooperative farm organization, and they're having their first conference, I think the first week of March. But you can go on Google and find out more about them. All I can say is another Bonita,
Mhm.
powerful Sister Benita, um,
Adib.
is Adib, right?
Adib.
Yeah, I did. So I met her in DC one year, and you know her, Kwesi?
Um, I'm not. It's not coming to mind, but maybe
Okay,
by face. Maybe by face.
okay. So she's been out there on the front line pushing forward the need of saving seeds,
Okay.
the sovereignty in saving seeds, the policy in seed saving. So I met her a few years ago. I think it was 93 when we were dealing, not 93, 2023 when we were dealing with the farm bill. And we went to Washington to make sure that what we needed in the farm bill was being addressed.
Okay.
So I met her there, and I think I probably met Bonita before then, attending various conferences in the South. Um, so we had Barbara had met her at another conference, and when Barbara met her, Barbara said, "We need to have this sister here for the fair." So that year, we had already set Brother Kashan in motion to do the fair. So we said next year. And one thing about We Grow Food is our organization listen to membership and membership ideas. And when we make a decision, we not give up. We move on it
Right.
with full power.
Hard.
Um, and it's not always we have the money there to do what we need to do, but we know we need to do it and we have to get it done. So the sister came down for 3 days. She did 2 days of public presentation on seed sovereignty, the need of saving seeds, why seeds are so important in during this time, and especially for us on the island and having everything shipped in. Being able to save those seeds from your produce that you might purchase that are organic and save them. And then also the cultural part of seed saving. We love our callaloo bush. We need to save those seeds, those indigenous seeds, and many other plants and fruits and vegetables, our soursop, our mango. We need to do more of saving of our seeds, fruits and vegetables. So she spoke on that to the general population for Saturday and Sunday. Then on Monday, we had a workshop on farmers on saving seeds and also becoming seed farmers. So it was over 30 persons attending that workshop. They had a team of 4 speaking on in 4 different areas, and maybe Barbara can be more clear on those 4 areas. But it was very nice, very informative. So one of our initiative with National Black Food and Justice this year, they awarded us funding to begin a food bank and to do projects related to saving seeds so we can have the equipment to vacuum seal them to properly begin to save seeds. So that was really great because this year it was about seeds at our fair as far as another entity and the importance of seed to food security, food sovereignty. So also present was Black Sustainability was here for the fair, and they gave insight on a land trust. And again, I think Barbara would be the better person to speak on this. But those were some of the things happening during the fair, also some of the challenges. But as a people, when we are met with challenges, we grow bigger. It's not something to knock us down. It's actually something for us to go back on the drawing board, replan it, re-strategize, and move forward. And in these times, we always have to be aware there's funding out there, but we have to be aware that that funding is nothing's never guaranteed in life until it's in your hand.
Definitely.
So
definitely.
I'll let someone else in the group speak. It's almost on the hour too.
Yes, yes. And that's so key. And that's why I tell my audience, you know, I build my audience on a subscription, monthly subscription, you know, using Patreon. And I say that, you know, one of the reasons that I do that is because when you depend on sponsors, you know, and that 1 or 2 or 3 sponsors are writing that big check, and you get so comfortable, and then now the sponsor's vision doesn't align with your vision anymore, and they withdraw that money. Now you drop it, you know, your whole thing is gonna drop. The safest thing that you can do is to be community funded, you know, by your audience, by the crowd. So, you know, we're gonna ask, I don't know if 96.1 has a way that ones can contribute to the station, but I'm gonna ask my audience, the Lion Pride, who sees this, most people will see this on the replay. Make sure we go support this station that's giving this type of content in the morning, you know what I mean, on a massive platform. We need to support that as Rastafari globally and make sure Sista B and Shanaka show, you know, money overflow. You know, we know how these things work. And likewise, Regrow Food, look at the great work they're doing, but they're still fighting to get funding. So I also want the Lion Pride. We're going to find out how we can contribute to We Grow Food. And this is going to be one of the festivals. Our global audience, we are going to rally around, and we're going to ask the item to spend the $5 to $10 to support. This is battlefield now. We're being strategic. Yeah, man. So we're coming to the top of the hour. I'm going to pass it to Sister B and to Brother Anaka. Blessings to the item. The item, take it. We're riding.
Well, greetings. Thank you so much. Before we get to the top of the hour, it's a little bit too early for me to do what I got to do at the top of the hour. I've got 7 more minutes to go. I wanted to kind of jump in and fill in some of the gaps with things that we have shared already. For example, how we even got to the seed, Ujima seed, or any focus on the seed. Each year at our agricultural fair, we have a theme that we, solicit from our membership to come up with a theme. We vote on it and we choose which theme fits or which team wins for the year. This year, our theme, and I hope I don't say it wrong because I don't have it in front of me, is Plenty to Fix in Agriculture 2026, something of that nature. But simply, it was really addressing that there's a lot of work to be done. And with that, we thought of, it kind of really mutated into what it became, which was our first attempt to give in solutions. We constantly hear in the territory, and I'm sure in many other spaces of the diaspora, we mention the problems that we face, the challenges that we encounter, the oppression that we have to maneuver our ways through, and often forget that if we put just as much energy as we do acknowledging those challenges to actually activate in our solutions, we can overcome them. This year, one of our solutions to the many problems that need fixing in agriculture was, as you said, food sovereignty and food security. The seeds. The seed offers that to us. It not only preserves the sustainability of growing your own food, but it also protects the sovereignty of the food that is yours, that's local to you, that is indigenous to our culture and our people. So that was one of those things that we saw for our agriculture food fair this year. We could focus on and really begin the transformation that's needed within the community, not just our farmers, by learning how to grow intentionally for the harvesting of food, the seeds preservation, but also to be able to spread that into a wider part of the community, not just the farmers from the Bordeaux areas, but anybody who's willing to grow, whether it's on your porch, in a box window, or in a yard. I refer to those spaces as our medicine cabinet. And I think that what we did this year with our agricultural and cultural food fair is really work towards giving a start for many who may not have had, or even given opportunity, access to seeds so that they can start to farm seeds. There was plenty of giveaways in terms of seeds that were distributed at the fair this year. In particular, the Department of Agriculture, who were also one of our vendors, along with UVI, School of Agriculture, and Extension Services, all bringing forth, again, more resources towards meeting that solution. And as Mama Benita said, or Sista Benita said, the Black Sustainability Inc.'s president, those who made the trip for those taking the journey possible this past October, they in conversation about our fair, I invited them to attend and be a part of the community, share in the community what their efforts have been in creating this map of network and support system for the Black community. They came present all on their own dime. They paid for their trip to come. They paid for their stay. They really put forth their money to making this an even greater space for our community to grow in. So I want to definitely take that opportunity to acknowledge that their presence was more than just supporting the event, but also to put some avenues to grow for our community, building the network even further. Now the Virgin Islands is on the map. It was already there. Now there's more to grow with. The time is now 11:58, and you're listening to 96.1 KISS FM, WWKS, coming straight at you from Charlotte, Mali, Virgin Islands, U.S. Virgin Islands. I want to also let those listening know that you're locked into the Kook Up with Sister B and Brother Shanaka here Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. until 2, and along with us today. We have a simultaneous broadcast from our YouTube family, the Lions Network, with Brother Kazi with the Lions Voice, here recapping and revisiting the Bordeaux Farmers Market, our Rastafari agricultural, cultural, vegan food fair that was just this past January, the weekend of January 17th and 18th, along with the 19th. We've now added the Monday, people, by demand. We've now added added the Monday. It's become a workshop day. And did anything I forget? Want to thank our sponsors. Want to thank Exotic Juices for being a part of our program and supporting what we do. Want to definitely big up Creative Marketing Center for what they have supported us through, and we'll get back to more sponsors as we move forward.
96.1 KISS FM, and I just want to extend, a 96.1 KISS FM family big shout out and big strength to Quasi, and the Lion Network, the Lion Voice, the Lion Talk. Give respect and give thanks, for your energy, and also, for pointing out, in terms of your audience and making your audience become aware of what we do here in the Virgin Islands, and also the connectivity, between the Lion Voice and 96.1 KISS FM. Let's not make this the only time that we link up on with simulcast. There will be other issues that we will do that with.
Ashe. If you want to take us on, if you want to catch us on the go, you can do so at vicwebradio.com. Brother Quasi.
Yes, I. Yes, I. This is so powerful. We're using the technology. We are interacting in a way that we've never done before, and it's Rastafari interacting with Rastafari, but for the global Pan-African family, because we're not exclusive, you know what I mean? We're very inclusive to all people who, see what's happening in the world and want to make a change. So I want to stay on the topic of seeds. Seeds was one of the main topics that we spoke about in Ghana as well, in terms of, we made a decision as a Habesha board, we're going to be creating a seed bank at Kazi in Ghana. And I want to know if there are any plans in terms of We Grow Food. Now that you've had this link with Ujamaa, food saving, is there any plan to do a seed bank or some type of seed sharing program in the VI?
Definitely, but I'll let Sista Benita speak to that.
Thank you. So with our partnership with Ujamaa Seeds, they are linking us to a national organization to assist in starting a seed bank for the VI, which would mean not just St. Thomas, but St. Croix and St. John, and will require several layers of partnership so we can begin the seed bank. There's different components that I'm needing to be educated on. I'm at the beginning stages. I normally had saved my seeds, wash and save them in the refrigerator, but did not use oxygen absorbent packages to save them. And so we learn more of how to save the seeds. And so we're going to be implementing workshops during this year so that the community on the whole can learn more about the importance of cleaning everything off your seed. What do you use to clean your seeds with? And then the importance of the storage of the seed. As Kubu said, we have a walk-in cooler. So with the funding from National Black Food and Justice, we're purchasing a variety of items so that we can purchase seeds. We have the ability to purchase quantity of seeds. And within that structure, we will probably this is all in the beginning planning stage. As farmers, let's say they grow green peppers and they grow 10 pounds of green peppers, or we have a pepper called seasoned peppers. So you grow 10 pounds of seasoned peppers to sell. Out of that, you set aside a pound for the seed project, and then save those seeds, wash them, bring them, and save them so we can begin a hardy seed bank. Um, we plan to be able to sell seeds
Yes.
also as part of our fundraising to purchase more seeds. So basically, that's what we're looking at. And then the education for the general community. As I said before, the callaloo bush, which was in plentiful. There was the small callaloo and the larger callaloo bush,
Mhm.
and you're not seeing it anymore. I mean, all over. We have a spinach. I think the technical name is the Malibu spinach, and people didn't realize, are not realizing even till today, that that spinach is more powerful than the spinach they can buy in the store.
Mm.
So, but as in all communities, everyone's understanding on the whole that fresh is the best. And here in the Virgin Islands, since over 80% of our food is shipped in, it's really important that we grow what we eat to stay healthier. I think our saying is, we have another saying, eat local, be healthy, and that's what the bottom line is. It's healthier community.
Mightyful, mightyful. I really think that's powerful. Ras Kubu, can you share anything about seeds? I want us to emphasize this point of the seeds and preserving the seeds. Why?
Like I say, we are always about food sustainability. It's impossible to have food sustainability if you don't control the seeds and have some place where you can renew your produce from. So this year, for sure, we are doing a lot more to try and encourage one or two farmers to become seed farmers. We have always saved some seeds, but this is on another level. So we are encouraging some farmers to become seed farmers, or take at least have a portion of their yard dedicated to growing seeds. We're gonna have the classes on how to preserve the seeds, and that is a big goal this year. That's one of our biggest goals this year, to maintain the seeds and to do the work for the seeds.
Give thanks, give thanks. So essential. I want to just acknowledge some of the lion pride here in the house. Ras Roots, big up yourself. Give thanks for the $5 attribution. Ras Roots, always dependable. But you're joined on the battlefield by Ras Leach Tafari. Bless up yourself, King. All of the lion pride who see the need for what we're doing. I really am humbled by the support. There is no culture without agriculture. That was said to I by I Elder Baba Duno. And I think VI is leading the way. And again, I am not afraid to give the flowers where they belong, and the item are really inspiring. I. So I'm gonna ask for, because I have a lot of creatives that watch iPlatform, and I saw some clips, and I saw on the entertainment part of the festival that you had an ambassador on the stage, an ambassador seven. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So who are some of the artists who can speak to the entertainment part of the festival? And as you say, it's been a launching ground for international. Sister Bonita said, "Not I," but who is that? The Rascal. that the era.
Looks, yeah.
Yeah, I could speak to it, and I'm sure Barbara could speak to it as well,
Yes, yes,
because
yes,
both
yes.
of us worked on the entertainment committee, which put
Okay.
together the entertainment passion. We tried something new this year, DJ Clash, which we had DJs from the islands come together. Uh, it's a work in progress. And so we did that, and we had a dance on the Saturday night. Uh, the one of the artists was Levi Lava.
Lava. Lava.
Lava, right? The artist. And on the second night we had Sister Joyce came over from Virgin Gada. We had Danny A, from local artists up and coming. We had
Wow.
Rasabaija. You had the Young Soldiers. Uh, so we had a pretty good show. It's an entertainment. Our entertainment is in a process of change. We're trying to do something different, to not be the same every year and every time. So Ali Barbara, go ahead and follow up on it a little bit more.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Yes, I.
Sister B, go ahead.
Mhm. Like Ras Kubu said, we want to, throughout the years, we've given opportunity to the local artists to utilize our stage and platform, not just for the entertainment of our viewers and our attendees, but also to grow, to demonstrate their growth, to share their latest music, to actually give back to their culture locally. We've had artists over the years like Nayora, Jaman, Pressure, as mentioned before. We've had Midnight. We've had TP High Grade. And again, we've had Mother. This year we had Mother Nile. We had
Great artist, Mother Nile.
great
Big up Mother
artists.
Nile. Yeah, man. Big
Yeah,
up Mother Nile.
yeah, we had Mother Nile this year with us on stage, and and she put forth a heck of a show. We had Ambassador Seven, we had um Jayuts, we had Reggae Dynasty Band, we had and this was all just within 2 days of
Okay.
entertainment.
Okay.
And Danny I. This was all just within 2 days of entertainment, and more so 2 nights of entertainment, because the live entertainment really takes part more towards the evening. Part of the entertainment is also what we do in the day. And for those of you that may have the Caribbean background or exposure, I'm sure you know what a cold pot is. That's one of the things that we do every year on both days of the fair. We have a cold pot lighting competition, probably one of the greatest highlights of our entire event. That's that one event, or that one competition, generates so much energy within those who are attending, because the competitors are from the audience. Anybody who wants, any age, who think they can, there's usually 5 or 6 cold pot lined up. You have to make your kettle sing first. Whoever whoever gets their kettle to blow first wins. And they build this fire from scratch within the cold pot. Our traditional stove is the cold pot. I mean, after the tree stone came the cold pot.
Yes, yes, yes.
And we still use it very much so here in the territory. We still use our cold pot. In fact, I could tell you my mother wouldn't fry fish in the house. If she had fish to fry, she would take it outside to put it on the cold pot, just to avoid the house from smelling like fried fish.
Yes, yes,
Um,
yes.
so even those who have stoves still use their cold pot. And we had other types of presentations throughout the day. That what we had our steel pan, our steel pan, local steel pans from the schools, as well as we have an adult steel pan group called Pan Around the Neck, or Pan in Motion, coming
Beautiful.
out of Rising Stars house. And each year, as much as the vending and the presentations and the opportunity for the workshops are all fall under the as far as the presentations fall under the entertainment committee. This year we wanted to do something a little bit different. We wanted to highlight the DJs in our
Okay.
community. um, as Kubu said, it's a work in progress. It was our first year bringing that to the table, trying to encourage a new type of entertainment and excitement within that area. And we will continue to strive towards bringing new things. A recommendation for, and I cannot forget the Echo drummers, our Echo people drummers,
Okay.
who has blessed us every year. These are our local brothers and sisters who come together with a drum in a drum group. I'm not sure. And they're coming out of St. John. Don't whisper, you got Mike.
Well, well, I just,
I need the strength. Come.
I, yeah, the Echo people,
Echo
from St. John, who traditionally be part of, the fair each and every year.
Every year they open our fair with us in the mornings.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And of course, also too, we wanted to really mention that TP I grade and the dub connection was part of the Saturday night entertainment.
Mhm.
And he was the one that really provided, the music for Mother Nile and Danny I.
And
All of the,
Ambassador 7.
and Ambassador 7.
Yeah.
Right. And TP High Grade is international in terms of his production.
Yes, sir. Yes,
And
sir.
so
I have a song
it-
with Tippy. I have a song with Tippy. So if you're listening, Tippy, we want to get working on that. Big up
I know
yourself.
that's right.
Big up
so
yourself.
so one of the things we want you to picture in your mind when we talk about the fair, right? The fair. It is a very comprehensive in terms of the culture and the creativity and the entrepreneur of the people of the Virgin Islands, Rastafari, as well as other people, bringing their arts, bringing their ways, and bringing their products to the fair, right? And we have people coming out of St. John and sometimes Tortola and St. Croix, all coming to be part of this fair. And these are artists and entrepreneurs that bring in their products. So the fair, the sight, the sound, the texture, the colors is just amazing.
One of the other parts of our entertainment and building of the culture, I refuse to call it just entertainment, were our bambula dancers. A very great part of our Caribbean, of our history here, goes back to our bambula dancers, which are those who carry forth the African tradition in our ancient attires, all white dress, and dancing for the acknowledgement as well as the warding off of spirits and different meanings within our dances that we did throughout the history of our islands, the Danish West Indies. The entertainment is something that I'm not even sure how to describe it. It's definitely a big part of what people come and take part in.
As a matter of fact, one of the head of the entertainment committee, he always stressed that it's not entertainment, it's edutainment.
Edutainment. There you go.
Edutainment. So there's a educational component that is
right.
And part of the entertainment. Edutainment.
And I'm glad you emphasize that at this point, because the bambula dancers, for me, each and every time that they present themselves, I think they remind us of our culture. They remind us of who we are, and they also give birth to the ideas of the young ones witnessing that they too can be a part of the bambula dancers. In fact, this year we had dancers from the elementary level, which is something that is so encouraging to me, because it tells me that the art will not die if we continue to give it to the hands of our youth. I put it in the hands of our youth. We have that great opportunity for its sustainability, and each year at our fair, that is brought forward, not just for entertainment, but for the encouragement of longevity and sustainability. Yeah.
And I don't want us to forget our model show too, our African model.
Yes, we have we do have vendors who would vend the African attires. We have real African members of our community, people who are from the motherland that live here in our community that bring that cultural wear to us and vend at the fair. And we have a full participation of our audience. Our models come from within the audience. They do a full show, the runway is the entire market and displaying the fine garments and what our cultural wear should really look like,
Beautiful. I love that. All as the brethren say, it's very holistic.
It is.
When you're talking about all of these aspects, the biggest Rastafari agricultural cultural fear on the planet. I said that they don't want to say it, but I'm gonna say it. So you can't.
I fully endorse it.
I'm taking on that fight, Sista Benita. I'm taking it on. All right. I can stay humble. I'm taking it on because it's so important what the item are doing. It's so powerful. I'm here just listening. And these are all things that I've envisioned for the Naya Bingi house. I'm a Naya Bingi bedroom, and these are things I would share. So to know that they are happening, it's all mansion, all inclusive. And I think what's important is that the fact that when Rastafari is putting on a festival, we see that it's inclusive of everyone. You hear bambula dancers, you hear percussion, continental Africans showing their wares. Even the dog get a little feature in the whole production. Everybody gets a chance to shine their light when Rastafari is up.
That was a rooster.
Oh, that was a rooster. Okay.
Listen, you're in the Virgin Islands when you get your chicken and the roosters the hens and the roosters as part of the audience. Okay, yeah, they're. Did you see Benita try to chase him off?
This is an action channel, My channel. We want blockbuster films, so that's part of it. But I think it's important for us to emphasize that Rastafari is always communal, always has been that way, integrated into the larger fabric of the community. And I think that's an important message that we have to communicate to governments, that if they invest into their local Rastafari communities, you're really lifting up an entire community, because the Rastas don't even know how to be selfish. You know what I mean? We say we're Ital, we're not selfish and we're not buy fish. You know what I mean? That's what we say. But I give thanks. Continue, Shanaka.
I mean, just the whole idea of food security from the national level in terms of the Virgin Islands food security. It is necessary that the government, give the proper support to farmers. And I say farmers, all farmers. We go Food Incorporated and many other different farmers, because here in the Virgin Islands it's almost like we import, and some people say maybe 90% of our food comes in, And so if you even think about it, if we import 90% of our food, then we usually would have maybe, like, in terms of the food on the shelf and the foods in the storeroom, we probably might have maybe a 3 months or 4 months supply of food. And so if we was into some kind of international crisis and these kind of things, it becomes a problem. So it is necessary, for the sustainment and building agriculture here in the Virgin Islands. So we need all the governmental support as well as other different support in terms of being able to do that. And we encouraging more people, to get into farming here in the Virgin Islands. The University of the Virgin Islands just added a school of agriculture. And so we are hoping, and it's our hope, that we're going to continue to build out agriculture and make it much more sustainable and, in the achievement of food security.
I wanna make this real for the eye listeners, and the Lion Pride will know some of these things. But right now, it's looking like there's gonna be a war in the Middle East with the U.S. invading um, Iran, and Iran has threatened to close the Straits of Hormuz, which means that the price of oil is going to skyrocket. When the price of oil skyrockets, the price of shipping skyrockets, which goes to the price of food to skyrocket. So we don't comment on the political part of it, but what we have to do is be proactive to prepare for these eventualities. So I want to really let the people know that the fact that the Caribbean imports 80 to 90% of its food means that when the cost of transporting this food to the islands skyrockets, it's going to impact what the price that you see on your grocery shelf. So this is not an abstract um, issue that we're dealing with right now. We need to really, and I always say, no one is coming to save us as Rastafari people. We have to be clear about that. We can partner with governments. We can do everything with good people of good nature, but we cannot anticipate that anyone will save us. The story of the Bordeaux farmers market is a story of self-reliance, is a story of resilience, of not waiting to be accepted or validated, but coming together, uniting, and putting a united front to build it to where it is today. I heard 4,000 people estimate streaming through, experiencing Rastafari culture, no major funding. They did it themselves, less people. I want to just tell the people that our priorities are messed up right now. And I want to be
Mm,
clear, because we're
mm.
not supporting these things and I think we think it's business as usual. Ras Kubu, please just talk to us about this whole Rastafari food sovereignty, us owning all of the aspects of the food supply system, and break down for people, because a lot of people just turn up at the grocery store and don't know how the food get there. Talk to us about that, the importance of us owning that food supply and making sure that we are preparing for what is to come.
Yes, give thanks, Malayo. And the fact is, here in the islands in the Caribbean, we have real life examples and situations where we have lived through this situation with hurricanes and storms, and the ships stop come, and there's nothing on the shelves. Uh, and I have seen people lined up for blocks to get those MREs that the US brings in and gives out. I'm not sure they're even food, but people line up for blocks to get some of that stuff. As being a farmer and within the farming community, we were able to gather what we had, whatever bananas blew down, the ground crops wasn't affected too much. We gathered and we cooked and we ate the same food we ate every day, you know. But how long could we do that? I don't know, because like I say, our production is it's not a whole lot. So we have been to the situation. So it should be no surprise to the people here. And they should be aware that we need to do something to protect ourselves. Shanaka said we have 2 or 3 months food on the shelves. I don't think so. In terms of a
Mm.
hurricane, a storm, the shelves are empty within a week, 2 weeks.
Hot.
So
I see.
if we don't take it more serious, we will pay the cost. As I said before, we, the farmers, we do a little better in sustaining because we have our crops. We can store them. Like I said, we have cooler, we have deep freeze, and we will have stuff in storage that we could use.
Yes.
But throughout the whole island, it's a very serious affair. And it's not even to say like a war. Hurricanes, storms, anything that stops the ships from coming results in problems for these islands.
And I'm glad that you gave it that context, because not just war, it's natural disasters, it's all kind of things that
Tariffs.
leave us, yeah, tariffs that leave us vulnerable to price shocks and increases that, the average person working there 9 to 5, it get rough. So this is not an abstract, the rest them just a talk about this and that. I want all of the listeners, everybody tuning in to know this is one of the defining issues of our time. We need a decentralized food system, meaning return to the land where you have smaller producers, they're aggregating their crops for the market. But, this is how we get the quality, those artisan farms, those small family businesses. This is how we support strong families, strong culture, because there is a culture that comes with agriculture, the children learning to plant, to harvest. All of these things are an important part of what is being built and what I think Bordeaux represents for us globally. So as I say, on the Lion Voice Network, we are going to be promoting endlessly the works that the item are doing, because this is something I think is a model. We don't have to reinvent the wheel. Every island should have a We Grow Food equivalent that is doing and putting forward these works. There should be a Rasta, just like you have a Chinatown in every city, major city, we should have a Rastafari village in every country, or in a royal space where people can come get Ital food, get the culture, the music, the crafts, all of these economics and our way of life, but controlled, operated by I and I. So that is really, I think, the lesson that we're learning here. And I want to return to Sista Benita and the rooster too, because we can't forget the agriculture. Okay, we lost Sista Benita. But so we'll go to the eye Rasanaka. What stood out for the eye this year, Shanaka, in terms of the festival,
96.19.
Well, one of the highlights of the festival, right, was the fact that 96.1 Kiss FM, the Kook Up, broadcasts, live from the festival the Sunday evening.
Mhm.
And during that broadcast, we were able to interview a lot of artists and also radio personalities that was involved in the fair, right? So that in itself was a highlight. And but this is not the first time that the fair is broadcast live, because we also have a station here who traditionally, this is a real traditional station from Foundation, who traditionally do some levels of broadcasting the fair live, you know.
They weren't there this year,
But-
so we picked up on the slack. We
Okay.
filled the gap,
and the thing about it, we were also streaming live too. So
Mhm.
it's not just broad, we was basically streaming live.
Internet. Yeah.
Internet, right? Through internet radio. So we were streaming live. And so that in itself, I mean, for me having the opportunity, to interview like Danny I, right? And Tippy, and also Mother Nile.
Mhm.
That in itself was really an experience, right? For them to be able to tell their story, briefly over the internet and coming live and direct from Bordeaux, right? Uyghur Food Incorporated 27th annual Rastafari, and that's the thing we emphasize. Rastafari, right? Agriculture and culture vegan food fair, right? So it is Rastafari in nature.
I
It is
love the title.
Rastafari in scope. It is Rastafari in energy and spirit and the foundation. That's what the fair is all about.
I love the title because it's long word and I and I. You know what I mean? It's a lot. That's how I and I reason, though. You can't reason with a Ras and it's a little quick one too. That's not going to happen. So
Yeah.
the title is really cultural, and the world needs to slow down right now because everybody's in a rush, and they're going nowhere. So I think that part of our culture, people tell me my intro of my show too long sometimes. So I get it. But I also resist a little bit because I say that is our culture as African people, you
Slow
you
down.
take your time, you have to seat up, you have to take your time and get the sip. You know what I mean? So I love it.
I'm gonna
Let me,
use that from now on to support my long-windedness.
yeah, man, that man. All of us have the same issue, you know. The 27th annual Bordeaux Farmers Rastafari Agricultural and Cultural Vegan Food Fair. That is the title, you know. So I want people to know, you know, you have to take your time and say that. You know what I mean?
Mm.
I love it though. It's so Rastafari. I love it. What is the future? You know, because all of these ones are also ones I met them on the continent, so I already know that the item are repatriation plugged in and tuned in. How the item see the current works of We Grow Food and this whole chant for repatriation that Rastafari has been chanting. Who want to touch it?
Yes, right. Yes, right.
Yes,
Um, my biggest thing for the fair the last couple of years has been our increased connectivity.
I
You
wait.
know, we have reached out to Brother Kishan, and it ended up with us being in Ghana. You know, in that meeting in Bongi and the Ital certification, which is still a big issue, and we're waiting to see that push on that
Yes,
issue.
yes, yes,
You
yes.
know, and they connect with Atlanta, the Black Food, Black Justice, the Ujama. So the connectivity, we have been hooking up with our family, and we have grown in that aspect, you know.
Yes.
And that is what I see us continue to do, to push the repatriation issue and to grow and to make it available and easier for anyone from here in these islands, if they so choose to make the journey, they would have family and help in that way. So that is my greatest thing with the last couple of fairs and what we are doing right now.
And I could see the item, doing this festival in different African countries because there's no need to reinvent the wheel. So I could see a team of the item consulting with the different Rastafari communities in terms of how, the model that the item used to set up Rego Food, the model that the item used in terms of the structure, the concrete structure with the off the grid. I really see the item playing that role in our global Rastafari ecosystem. And, the festival is now branded and could travel, you know what I mean? So you have it there in January, it could be in Tanzania in April, in this country, in
I
Zambia,
love the way you think.
And it would be a pleasure. Nothing but a pleasure, my love.
you see what I'm saying? So this is the kind of futuristic vibes I love to reason on. And the audience I'm building, we are training ourselves in being economic warriors because I have 60,000 subscribers, and I'm telling them if everybody gave $10 to one of my guests, that would be 600,000 US dollars that we could do every week. You know what I mean? And if I know Rui Grow Food had that kind of money to build capacity, now they can start thinking about going around Africa, setting up that consultancy piece of the work. You know what I mean? So I want us to think outside of the box, family. And we already have people doing the work. There's nothing that we need to reinvent any wheel right now. You know what I mean? We have the biggest Rastafari agricultural festival on the planet right now, and we are watching the evolution of a people. So, Sister Benita, please talk to I about repatriation. How the I see it? I met the I for the first time in Ghana, so I know the I have your own vision, treading from when the I been treading from. How do I see that connection?
Okay, give thanks. So that was my first trip to West Africa. I had traveled to Kemet before, and but only for work. So I definitely plan to return. You mentioned my two children. My son Lukata and his wife Benita were married in Ghana, but they had came from Kenya. And since we've been back in the Virgin Islands, they constantly say, I miss Africa. I can't wait till I return. I miss Africa. And so in November, my eldest was in, not Rwanda, I can't even remember what country he was in, but he also had went to Kenya, and he also said, I know I'm going to have a house in Africa. And for me, that's true repatriation. That shows the generation, my legacy, that my youth have went, because I've always told them, actually, when I came to the Virgin Islands, I was only supposed to be here 1 year. And I've been here over 32 years now.
Yeah.
And this was just supposed to be a stop to get my children acclimated to tropical living, and then we were going on. And so they've always heard me speak of owning a farm in Africa. I always thought I would go, and I still think I was going to work at the School for the Blind and Akubin, and even not work but volunteer. So I know it's real, but I like to follow the footprints of Habasha. I would like to take some youth over there.
Okay.
My first time physically meeting Brother Kasham was when he came here to introduce Back to Your Roots program that they had.
Yes,
And we
that's
had
right.
one youth that Sister Diane, Brother Malak's daughter, Muffin, she went on that journey.
Yeah.
And I still feel that's the important part. And I think there should be Habasha have a culture journey where once a year we can come and bring youth, and just like a youth, the global Black food sovereignty,
Yes.
that is only for youth, mainly for youth. We're just
Yeah.
there
Yeah.
as
Facilitators.
chaperones,
Yes.
so that they can get that opportunity. We had a great opportunity. We had, I think, 4 days of workshops.
Yeah.
Then we went out in the community. We went north to south, east, and west. And it doesn't have to be Ghana. I know there's other countries,
Yes.
and other countries doing great things. It's just it's always an introduction. You go through the first door, and that's rich. That means maybe the second door is just as or better. But I really believe true repatriation comes in generational repatriation. At least give the youth the opportunity to go and see, and because many still is not believing the modernization of Africa, the business opportunity. And that's what I love about Black sustainability. They're young, not meaning, teenagers, but they're young Africans from America that is reaching out to Africa and doing business there. For the future, as far as our fair, I can see us inviting members from our Black food sovereignty, maybe Brother Bobo Selassie,
Yes.
who's part of one of the larger Ghana Rastafarian agriculture group. And I know I'm not saying it correctly, but to come here with his products and see that production part.
Yes.
Brother Oswald coming to be part of the dialogue of reconnection for our youth. And even, just having the youth just celebrate and know where their roots are, and that the opportunity of living is very, I don't know how to put it, but it's a standard that they can't meet anywhere in the world. Whatever you want, whatever lifestyle that you're looking for, you can find it. And maybe you don't want to go for a full year. Maybe you want to just be able to go back and forth and contribute your knowledge. I have one other son who is electrical vehicle designer, and he plans to go in October to Ghana. And he had been with Brother Kashan in Atlanta.
Okay.
So I'm just, for me, they're actually they make me feel like I'm already there again when they
Yes,
go before I go. So
yes, yes.
definitely I plan to go and return home. It's very important to share the knowledge that I have had here, to be able to share the knowledge in Africa also.
Give
And
thanks.
that's it.
No. Give thanks. Give thanks. Sister B, how is the eye seeing repatriation in terms of the work that the eye is doing currently?
Um, I'll be honest with you. I feel a bit. I'm empowered. I'm empowered. Not this trip to Ghana, which we took in October, was not my first time to the motherland. In fact, I had
Okay.
been to Nigeria in 2003.
Yes.
Um, a whole different type of visit and a whole different me as well.
Yes.
That was over 20 years ago. Though roots and culture went with me, and my engagement at that point really was just solely embedded in the similarities and the cultural relations that we in the Caribbean have to the motherland.
Yes.
For me, most of that trip was spent identifying the similarities in our foods, in our practices, in our dances, in our, just like, wow, we are what I affectionately refer to as a diluted version of our
Yes.
African brothers and sisters on the continent's culture. This trip, on the other hand, was really trying to lay the foundations for that repatriation, not just for myself, but even for my next generation. I I have one of my daughters. I have four, of my own, four children of my own.
Okay.
And my second daughter is actually trying to put everything she can in place now to make that journey with me when we
Okay.
do. Sustain being able to put some foundations down here locally to make that transition a smoother one and a more sustainable one.
Yes.
Um, I I personally would love to permanently relocate to Africa. I know that it won't prevent me from returning, and it definitely have plans to return. And when I say
Yes.
return, I mean to the Caribbean, to
Yes.
come back to this part of the world. This is home. This
Yes.
is where my family that I know lives. And when I say my family that I know, I mean throughout the Caribbean, not
Yes.
just those of blood, but otherwise.
Yes. Yes.
So repatriating to the motherland, which by no means seems difficult, will also include trying to build a family there. I want to take a few of my own, like I say, my daughter and her children. So
Yes.
the roots will get planted. But as Mama Benita says, the satisfaction of knowing my children are looking forward to that return means that, I'm doing something here. I'm doing something here. So
Mhm.
repatriation for me has already started in my heart and my mind. And it's just to make that physical space, happen.
And speak to the October trod. How did you love Kazi? How did you experience this October trod that we had together?
Absolutely wonderful. I tell people spending 3 weeks every day and night with a bunch of strangers, um, you know, there has been no other experience like that. I have been on other trips with larger groups. When I say large groups, there was over 50 of us traveling in a tour bus through Ghana, moving from northwest, east, and south.
Okay.
But Kazi in itself, which When we first got to Ghana, we were in Accra, and spent a few days there waiting, if I can put it that way, or
Yes.
as we move forward to the Kazi, anticipating what that would be like. I had seen pictures of the grounds.
Yes.
However, actually arriving, we got there in the night. We got there in the late evening time. And the grounds, as much as I had some mental picture of what it could look like, it
Yes.
wasn't until morning that I actually had a chance to see it. And it was that morning that I went to Brother Kashan and said, because the space at the at Kazi, as you know, there were different sleeping quarters
Yes.
for those who were attending. And of course, those who were out at Quasi first, there you go. Those who were at the location first, according to Brother Kashan, there was over 120 people there at one point, you know, altogether.
Yes.
What a beautiful view of the grounds. Thank you so much for putting that up there. Those of us that came in that night were of the last to join the group, and we were actually scheduled to stay in a nearby hotel, you know, small local hotel in that village area. The next day when I got back to Kazi and had a chance to really soak it up, I went to Baba Kashan and I said, Baba Kashan, I want to stay here tonight. And he was like, well, we only have the camping site areas left, which were right on the river. I hope you get a chance to show that too in this overview. Sat on the banks of the little stream. That
Yes.
was to me the most peaceful. Oh my God. I didn't care. I didn't care to stay in, and I tend to refer to myself as a bush girl many times, right? So I
Yes.
didn't care to stay inside of one of those facility or the huts. It would have been nice. I wouldn't have
Yes.
mind, you know,
Yes. Of
but I
course.
was just as comfortable and just as appreciative of the tent that was by the river, you know, along with all the other tents that were communing there as well. The food was amazing. The food all vegan and definitely a variety of vegan foods
Yes.
from the
Yes.
local from and all locally grown. Most of it from the actual grounds itself, right there on the Kazi space, and you know, seeing it being harvested, not just planted and growing, but being harvested and then brought to the table made the state even more fulfilling. You know, it made it well-rounded. All of our juices, all everything that we consume for the most part, and there was a portion of it that was brought in from off the property, but yet still locally grown, you know, locally sourced. It was a phenomenal experience. I really enjoyed the opening ceremonies with the king from that particular area of Ghana,
Yes.
who blessed the conference and gave his welcome to everyone who was in attendance. Seen as here, the traditional entertainments, the drummers, the singing, and all of those things being performed for us during our stay was also an added blessing for those in attendance, you know?
Yeah, man. I give thanks that the item were able to witness that. You know, as a board member of Habesha, it's one of our crowning achievements. And I always say that this is heaven on earth. You know, we have
Mm,
created the proof of concept. You know what I mean? And that is the key, is that we need to replicate this. Again, there's no need to reinvent the wheel for us as Rastafari. His Majesty has put a little piece of the puzzle inside of everyone who is called by his name. What we need to do is just come together now. Um, the economic strength, you know, aggregating the capital, because we don't have the money by ourselves. None of us have that big $1 million to, you know, really create that spark. But together, we have the $5 and the $10 that we can send to a one space and create that impact. And that's really what I keep chanting. and I want us to know our power is not in the wagga wagga. It's in the collective use of the $5 and the $10. And that was a rhyme scheme. I'm an artist. I didn't intend it, but it's in my DNA. So it's not the wagga wagga. It's the $5 and the $10 that's gonna get us to our liberation. All right.
Asheo.
Yes, yes. So is there a way? Because I'm gonna have to sign off shortly after your
Let me just speak to the repatriation process for just a moment, right?
please, please.
Um, like I personally have never touched the soil, unlike the rest of the panel right here. I never touched the soil of Africa as yet. But in terms of repatriation, you know, right here, I'm using this platform here in the repatriation process, especially when it comes to mind, body, and spirit, because the whole African redemption, Rastafari redemption, Black man redemption. That's part of what we do here, and I am a advocate, and my advocacy is also African redemption, mind, body, and spirit. And so that also is part of the repatriation process, right? And so here we use this platform to be able to do that. And hopefully in the future, physically, I intend to step to the motherland and embrace it fully.
Mhm.
Um,
There was if I can,
yeah,
if I
man. Go
can,
ahead.
it
Go
just,
ahead.
there was a T-shirt of all things that I purchased while I was in Ghana. And trust me, there was much more. But this particular T-shirt, the back of it had something written on it that I just had to have. And it says, "I'm not African because I was born in Africa. I'm African because Africa was born in me."
Very
And
good.
I absolutely, I feel very strongly about that. It's not because we're on the motherland or because we were born there that makes us African. And that which is within our DNA is what has done that for us. So the repatriation is something that if we just focus on that DNA, we'll see that it's not so far to and hard to attain, and much of it is already there for us. So the journey is next.
Definitely, definitely. And I was gonna say to Russ Shanaka that the people you are around will make sure that you reach the African soil. These are all people we're treading, so you're in good company. So I expect to see the eye on that side soon.
Real soon.
I want to big up Jason Music official tuning in from Ghana on the international platform. He was also at Kazi with I and I. Big up yourself, Jason. Um,
Greetings.
One love, Jason, veteran.
Silent Warrior.
That's it, brother. That's it, brother.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man. Yeah, man. Mighty Angel. So big up, Jason. We have brethren tuning in saying that those are the words of Kwame and Nkrumah, which is true. We are not
Yes,
African
sir.
because we are born in
Yes,
Africa, but because Africa is born in us. Those
born
are
in
the
us.
words of the
Yes,
great Asante
Kwame
Fo.
the Great, yes, sir.
Yeah, man, Kwame
yes.
and Nkrumah. So we're coming together, and this historic simulcast is just evidence that Rastafari is coming together. We're breaking the chain. The seven seals have been loose, family, and I and
Ashe.
I are the
Yes, sir.
fruits.
Yes,
You know
sir.
what I mean? So we are coming together over land and sea to put this thing together to make it make sense. And we think globally, we act locally. So this is one of the local actions that we are highlighting that has global impact because again, we are going to globally help to build. They should not be looking for any funding, and we have Rastafari around the planet. They should just come on Lion Voice Network, put out the trumpet, and we flood the bank account of We Grow Food Inc. And
Ashe.
on the festival. That is what I want to see. You know what I mean? Because
Ashe.
we
Give
yeah,
thanks.
no, we're gonna
Yes, sir.
build it.
Yes,
We're
sir. Yes,
building
sir.
that
Yes, sir.
ecosystem. And I'm happy also to say that we are part of a Rastafari Media and Collaborative, 12 different Rastafari platforms. So we definitely will be bringing this festival next year to the Collaborative to see how we can support, so
Ashe.
there's global attention
Thanks. Thanks.
that's put toward this festival, because this is one of our key festival. We're creating the ecosystem as we go along, family, and everyone who's watching, everyone who's a part of this movement is a part of history. So we're
Mhm.
coming to the top of the hour. I want to give it forward to Sister B and Ras Shanaka, and we're gonna sign off shortly on YouTube, but let us pay the bills first.
Yes, I. Yes, I. You're
All
listening to 96.1 Kiss
alone.
FM.
Yes, sir.
WWKS coming straight at you from Charlotte Mali, St. Thomas VI. It's a Cook Up with Sister B alongside my brother Shanaka. We're here from 10 a.m. until 2. If you've got to take us on the go, if you want to reach us from a distance, you can do so at vicwebradio.com. That's VICWEB radio.com. We want to give thanks to our sponsors that put their money where their mouth is and make it possible for us to be here each and every Monday through Friday. Mango Leaf Bar and Restaurant. We want to give thanks to you for your contribution to our program. Local Exotic Juices. Again, thank you so much for what you do. Creative Marketing Center for making us who we are. And of course, Vic Web Radio for giving us the opportunity to simultaneously broadcast here on Radio 1 along with the Lions Network. The
Yes.
time is now 1 p.m. And we definitely want to say thank you to our brother Quasi for giving us the opportunity to share this platform with him. I want to say thank you to the other members of We Grow Food who joined us today as we recapped on our journey, not just to Africa, but in the growth of our Bordeaux Rastafarian agricultural, cultural, vegan food fair. Yes, I'd have to look for it in my head to say it as well. In fact, I will mix up and say market from time to time because we have a Bordeaux farmers market. Want to make sure we put it out there that our market is the second and the last Sunday of each month. You can come down and get your fresh produce and get arts and crafts, our foods, our vegan food, and so much more. You want to definitely be a part of that each and every Sunday, each and every second and last Sunday of the month at the Bordeaux market.
Yeah, well, give thanks, to the Lion Voice, the Lion Network, and of course, Kwasi, as per usual, my brethren, how everything go full circle. So we know that, 96.1 on Kiss FM in the future is going to do more of this.
And maybe we can actually have the Lions Network be a part of the broadcast from the Bordeaux Fair this coming year. Next year in January of 2027, they definitely want to take it on a wider scale, and share with the rest of the world what we are actually doing here together.
Definitely. It's been a great honor for this is history for our platform to be simulcasting with a terrestrial radio station. And we are honored, that they extended the offer. We're going to make sure our audience, the Lion Pride, the global Lion Pride, supports the IDEM platform on the internet.
Give thanks.
You know what I mean? And we want them to support with dollars. Is there any way that they can donate to the iShow directly or to the IDEM Works? Please just...
Yes. I'm going to give you an email, and if they can reach out to me either by phone, WhatsApp, or on the email. My phone number is 404-824-8254. I'll repeat that. That's 404-824-8254. Or they can email me at vicwebradio@gmail.com. That's vicwebradio@gmail.com. Put it to my attention, Sister B, and I'll be looking forward to sharing more information on how anyone can be supportive and donate to the station. We need that support. We really appreciate anything that you can give.
And again, my vision, right now we have 60,800 plus subscribers. My vision is every subscriber giving $10 to each of our guests, um, waking up in their account with over $500,000. And it only costs an individual $10. That's the power the collective has
Of unity. Ashe.
of unity. So I want us to get out of this thing that we don't have money, that we are
Ashe.
poor, that we're struggling. We just don't put our capital together
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
and direct it. You know what I mean? So that's
Ashe.
the teaching I'm giving to my lion pride, that we must come together. The hands separate, the fingers are weak as a fist. You know what I mean? We have that
Mighty.
power.
Mm.
You know what I mean? We are
Have the
mighty.
power.
That is it. So please, the sister gave her information. At least 1,000 people watching this episode. Go and give a $10 strength. Make we demonstrate what we can do as a collective. I see in the chat one of our faithful Lion Pride asking what is the main source of pooling I finances for the production. The main source is a decentralized source. We don't want to pull it in one place so that they can lock us off. We want every guest. That's why I'm saying they get that strength a little here, a little there. But if we're all doing it, then everybody is rising, because guess what that
Ashe.
person is going to do? They have to hire staff. They have to get more people. They're going to bring in more people. So by capitalizing each other in those little increments, we are building a cooperative power house. So it's not about pooling resources in any one entity or one platform. Give to the Lion Voice, give to 96.1, give to Regrow Food. You know what I mean? Instead of having those little chips or buying that coffee, you put that $5 aside or that $10 aside, and you come now and you feed the ecosystem. That is the
Mhm.
catchphrase I want us to think about. How are we feeding the ecosystem, so that we are changing our circumstance? Government's not going to do it. Private sector is not going to do it. Rastafari and the Pan African family must do it. This is
Ashe.
our charge. So I want to leave everyone with that. I do have to run. I want to give everyone a chance to say a final sound to our global Lion Pride family. We'll start with the Ras Kubu. Just say a final sound to the global Lion Pride family and let them know how they can support the Ras Kubu if you have any individual works, as well as the We Grow Food Inc. Work. So please just give us a final song.
No, got to give thanks to the family, and in this time the lion has finally started to tell his story, and we
Eileen.
have to give thanks to the I and 96.1, Sister Barbara and them. We Grow Food Inc. have a web page. We also have a Facebook page where you can see us, and donations can be made. So, no, one love to the family, and give thanks, man. Give thanks. That's all.
Give thanks. And can we get a final sound from our 96.1 family?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, I just want to be able to give thanks to the Lion Pride, and of course, Kwasi, I encourage you, and I send forward strength and energy, for you to continue to extend, your global reach with the Lion Talk, the Lion Voice, and the Lion Pride. Give thanks, for the connection here today, with the simulcast, and we just look forward to being able to reach your global family. 96.1 KISS FM. We give thanks.
We want to do it again.
Kidamawi,
Kidamawi.
Haile Selassie, and
Yeah.
the Empress Waziri Menen.
Ashe. Ashe.
Yes.
Definitely want look forward to doing this again with you, bringing your audience to our audience and vice versa,
Yes.
bringing your resources and our resource together to become stronger. We want to thank you because we are fighting that fight. They are trying to tell our story for us, which they are not telling our story, and they're trying to prevent us from telling our own. So supporting the multiple platforms, supporting the multiple avenues of sustainability is definitely key. And we appreciate you extending whatever resources you have access to those multiple platforms. Give thanks, King.
Give thanks. And I want to say something to the VI family specifically, because the item spend US dollars. I think that's very important to understand the power. And the last time I was in VI, I paid $30 for an Ital plate. So I know some money down there. You know what I mean? I never see that before in my life. I'll be honest. I paid $30 for an Ital plate. So what I'm saying is that that $30 could be divided three ways to support three different platforms with my philosophy. You know what I mean? So this is how we have to think as the VI, and there are so many Rasses down there. I would love to get some of the item as monthly subscribers for the Lion Voice, but there are so many other causes. Even if you don't like I because I chat too much, I'm working on myself. So please forgive I. But if you don't love I, there are so many other platforms to support. And I want us to not be passive and just going about things every day. This is the Armageddon that we heard about, that we sing about in our reggae songs, that we chant about. It's not going to get better internationally. It's going to get worse. So let us now circle the wagon. Let us now come together as Rastafari and Pan-African people who see the time it is and start to use our capital before the fiat currency collapses, because the dollar is losing value. Gold is over $5,000 an ounce right now, which means that inflation is coming. It costs a lot more to buy a lot less. So while the dollar has strength, let us put it together. Let us pool it. Let us direct it in different directions. So again, 96.1, let us make it the number one. Let's make the Kook Up the number one show on the station from an economic standpoint. You know what I mean? As Lion Pride, let the eye listeners come support the Lion Voice Network. Let us support the other Rastafari media platforms, the other projects that are out there. We Grow Food Inc. Let us flood their accounts. All of them, are worthy. All of them are doing the work. So it's up to us. No one is coming to save us. And I will leave it right there. Big up the Global Lion Pride family. Big up all who are watching live. Sister Mabel tuning in from Grenada. Yes,
bless up.
Just want to make sure I say also, Sister Benita was having trouble getting back in, but she wanted to thank you for inviting her to be a part of this today, and look forward to speaking with you again.
Perfect, family. One love to the whole global family, and one love to everyone. And I them know that the time has come for the Lions to tell our own story. And this is what?
Lion Voice. Aye.
The Lion Voice. Rastafari live and rules and reign in the hearts of all I and I. Perfect love and strength, family. Perfect love and strength to the global family. We are here and we are not going anywhere. Sila.
Blessed love, this is Ras representing for the Lion Voice. Seeing? Yeah, man. Keep it locked right there, sir. On to Zion we go. Lion Voice don't move slow, no. Rastafari rules and reigns, and we're going where the blessings flow. Keep it locked right there, sir. Seeing? Ras said that. Lion's Voice.
What are you waiting for? Come together, calling from near and far. Know who you are. What are you waiting for?
Big up Ras
Rally
Jabali,
up with
House of
sexy
Siba.
dust. What are you waiting for? Ancestors paved the way for us. Yes, I am Ketis Oyonde, asking, what are you waiting for to come together? The time has come for the Lions to tell our own story. This is the Lion's Voice.
African pride, root of all nations, boy. I tried with the lion, the Rastafari. Lion of it tried with lioness like I too. Empress on the front line, we need you. Well, this is Medicine, the steady one, and you are now tuned in to the Lion's Voice Network. What the lion forward for do? Scorch them. Roast and parch them.
I will never stop, hail the Most High, and I will never stop, call Rastafari. Blessed love, this is Kushite representing for the Lion's Voice. We are here to tell our own story, Rastafari.
Empress Manel, and a young scientist. You're wrong. Universally unfold, be told. Blessed love, this is Itege Idama, and it's time for the lioness and the lion's voices to be heard. This is the lion's voice, Rastafari.
Yo, blazing fire, yeah man, this is Rasindio out of Belize, and the time has come for the lions to tell our own story, right? Yeah man, we blaze fire, burning the wicked and the dirty vampire. Yeah man, Rasindio, say that, blazing fire, lion boy.
Lion voice, tell them that's the people first choice. Lion voice, make the lioness them feel nice. Lion voice, with the lion cubs we sacrifice. Lion voice, got to show the people them the light. Lion voice.